This is covering that new teaser that may have you worried. Don't be worried. They want you to be worried. But also, definitely be worried. Spoilers are in this video. I will be talking all spoilers, so please be warned. So for clarification for people that don't know how HBO does these sort of things, the teasers are not actual footage of what is going to be in the show. They cleared that up with the Crips teaser. This is just meant to hype you for the final season and the possibilities that you may see in the final season. So no, you aren't seeing the actual aftermath of the battle or a vision. They aren't spoiling for you how the battle will end. They just want to scare you that it could end this way. With that being said, let's break down this new teaser while also talking about leaks, which may add to the things I'm going to recklessly speculate on. First, I love that they start with the ringing sound effect you get after a loud noise, typically used to represent confusion in battle or war as well. A battle and the aftermath can be disorienting, and that is done so well with the sound effects they used. You can also hear screams and horses in the background music as we see a destroyed Winterfell post-battle. The echoes of a war past is extremely creative, and I love the direction they went with this teaser, to be honest. Even though this is a teaser and we know nothing we see is what we'll actually see in the final season, we do know from leaks that Winterfell is on fire at one point, so seeing massive damage to the castle this season is to be expected. Now, massive damage to the point where everyone dies? Probably not. More likely fleas, but I'll get to that in the end. Also notice we don't see a lot of fire damage in this teaser, which we are definitely getting in the final season. So you could say it was mostly covered up by the new snow, but we would still see some fire damage visible. This just looks like a battle took place without the raging fire we know is going to happen. The camera pans to dragonglass arrows, which are so fucking cool. I cannot wait to see them being used this season. We had other interviews where the prop department talked about the weapons they created for the final season and the ones that had dragonglass, and it was just crazy. The props in general that were built for this final season were just staggering to read about. They really went all out. They next go to a statue of a direwolf and the door to the crypts. We know from the trailer that showed real footage that people will be hiding in the crypts during the battle. So perhaps they are trying to tease even those hiding in the crypts aren't safe, which honestly, if there isn't some magic in the crypts that make it so the White Walkers' powers don't work, then they wouldn't be safe. We could see some reanimated bodies, like certain Starks we know weren't burned and died recently.
I'm gonna bury my brother in the crypt, next to my father.
Good going, John. Okay, what scares me about this part 2 was that we heard a wolf snarling. Are they trying to scare us that Ghost dies? Because you can't take Ghost from us. I know you killed some other direwolves or cut them out of scenes for budget reasons, but you don't have to do that to Ghost. He's such a good boy. Though if I'm being true to myself, I will say that an undead direwolf savaging John would be absolutely fucking hilarious. Sad, but hilarious. I still have a sinking feeling we're going to see Ghost die during the battle to defend John, just like Summer died to defend Bran, and it sucks. And here, let me say it before I see the million of comments.
If you thought this had a happy ending, you weren't paying attention.
Dogs howl, and we see the destroyed and empty kennels of Winterfell next to where dear Ramsay met his end. I'm hoping we see what is left of Ramsay reanimate this final season, even if it's just his bones. How will we know it's him? We won't. Let's just pretend any skeleton roaming around inside Winterfell is Ramsay. If it goes after Sansa, we'll especially know it's Ramsay. Oh my gosh, a skeleton with some Bolton clothing on it and a tiny bit of Ramsay's face left. I would laugh my ass off. Please, D&D, give it to us. Next, we see our first casualty. The hand of the Queen pin worn by Tyrion is in the snow, symbolizing he is now dead. If you're worried for poor Tyrion, he probably won't die this final season, and even if he does, we'll just pretend it was a fake out and he opened his own vineyard somewhere selling Imp's Delight. It's all gonna be okay, even if it isn't. We get Arya's sword needle sticking in the snow with sword noises in the background, clearly showing, or insinuating that she dies fighting. We saw her with a spear and dragon glass dagger in the trailer, so I'm interested to see how much she actually uses Needle in the battle. As well, around Needle we see plenty of Stark shields, weapons, and food supply. We go to the ramparts that were built and expanded for this season to be used in the Great Battle. There were beautiful leaked construction photos of it. I personally love how much they built for this final season just to destroy it during the big battles. Interestingly, we see the feather Robert placed on Lyanna's statue. In the first season, this feather was featured in the last teaser, the Crypts one, and appears to be something they are focusing on. Of course, Jon being Lyanna's son makes her important. Also that Robert and the rebellion changed a lot of the story. It falls from the wall and lands on Bran's destroyed chair as we hear raven noises. I still think Bran is what the Night King most wants dead in Winterfell. Yeah, Jon has been a pain in the ass, but Bran is the three-eyed raven and needs to get stomped out to ensure the Night King can rule over the dead. Or undead. We hear galloping noises as we get a close-up of Jaime's hand in the snow. I like the idea of Jaime now being a white without his hand. I mean, he probably has some new holes in him anyways from being killed. We saw Jaime on the walls during the battle, so I would have thought they'd put his hand up there during that shot, but I guess he can move around during the battle. Plus, you know, it's just a teaser. We have dragon noises as we see Dany's decorative chain she wears on the wheel, which you can interpret isn't broken, so Dany failed to break the wheel, as she's been saying she's going to do for so long now. Or since it's on the ground off of what it was connected to, it is in fact broken. So Dany got what she wanted, the wheel being broken, but she had to die for that to happen. The Night King will kill everyone and make sure the wheel never turns again. Yay! Your dreams did come true, Dany. Thanks for helping break that wheel, or dying without breaking it. However you want to interpret that. I don't care. I just love that her chain is on a wheel. Lastly, we see Longclaw, and there are terrible screeching sounds in the background. His sword is actually covered in blood, which is interesting given we didn't see much blood elsewhere, maybe symbolizing that Jon's blood is important. He was the prince that was promised, so in the end, he was the true last hero. But in the Long Night 2.0, our last hero doesn't survive. Dark. You could also explain it that most of the blood was covered by the snow coming down. However, to not see blood elsewhere like this, and then see tons of blood on Jon's sword, I think is very much so done on purpose. They are pointing to how important his blood is. I'd say the scariest part is right after showing the sword, drumming noises get more intense, and we see the Night King walking out of Winterfell as the winter storm follows him. Winter came, Winterfell fell, and now the Night King is bringing winter with him to spread through the world. Now if you're wondering, wait, Roars, where are all the dead bodies? Well, silly, they're the undead now, trying to go south and get more friends. See, you don't have to say goodbye to any of your favorite characters this season. They're going to be around forever. My last thoughts on this scene, everyone gone in Winterfell could be symbolizing that there is a retreat. This is heavy spoiler territory, so abandon ship now. We saw the massive fires at Winterfell and the huge bodies being burned in leaks. We know that this is just a teaser because we know that not all of them die here. Dany's Unsullied and Dothraki will hit King's Landing per leaks we got months and months ago. So Jon and/or Dany needs to live in order for that to happen. The King's Landing battle isn't until Episode 5, where the Winterfell battle is in Episode 3. What I do hope is that this is actually teasing the very real event that Jon and his armies need to retreat south. The Night King with his undead dragon just waste their forces. Dany is losing Dothraki and Unsullied left and right. Jon and Dany realize they can't win after a devastating loss at Winterfell and retreat with their army south. Maybe to try to convince Cersei one more time, please, you need to work with us. They finally arrive back at King's Landing to hopefully regroup there and find a less than willing Cersei. She doesn't care that they have an army outside her gates again, especially if she knows the Golden Company is coming or they're already in her city, waiting. Because she won't let them in or help them, Jaime goes in to talk with her and realizing, finally, he put his dick in crazy and she's never going to change, he strangles her. Or Arya with Jaime's face goes to talk to her and strangles her. I guess what I'm saying is, somebody strangle her. Jon and Dany now have King's Landing and wait for the others to march down south to fight them again. I still feel Dany and Jon heading south to regroup after they are steamrolled by the others is very probable. And the Dothraki and Unsullied being at King's Landing could be them not attacking the city, but getting ready for another undead attack. But I'll go more into that theory in an upcoming video. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and hey, do you think people that think this show will have a happy ending haven't been paying attention? I'm sorry, I can't help myself. I mean, I could, I just don't want to.